Figured, okay, let me throw a couple of boxes on the wall, figure out where I want them, and then start lining up holes. So I'm thinking I'm going to do a row of wiring holes at 60 inches above the floor, and the bottom of the box is 50 inches. That way the bottom sheet will have no holes in it at all. Okay, so when it comes time for paneling, I can put the bottom sheet up all the way across. Done. Also, just to see, I did put one of the knockout panel clamps in. I swear, I sat there for probably, it felt like forever, but at least 3 or 4 minutes in the aisle trying to find these things. These do not have the nuts that secure them in. You just push them up and smack them and then they stay. It's not the plague, unless it's sawdust related. And then we go, I left myself a little slack there. And then it goes a straight line. Straight lines are easy. I can actually, because of how big that hole is on the, that I drilled through the studs, from this end, if I've got slack like I left down on that end, I can pull it all the way across without going back. The goal for today was to start wiring, and I got a feel for what's going to happen now. It's a bit overkill. Let me just put this into perspective. I am dealing with electricals today, this week probably. So and plus, you know, normal. I've just got cords, rope with pattern, you know, normal gack, wires, lots of wires, all kind of coiled up randomly everywhere, right? And I know there's a rattlesnake underneath that tank over there, or at least there was a few minutes ago. Okay, so now I gotta really be thinking, I gotta look at everything and remind myself to look at everything, because which one is the snake, right? And do not try to pick up the snake. Oh, mental anguish here.
Alright, coming to you live. So, the electrical work I'm doing lately the battery box has always been working. So I've got solar still coming in, charges the batteries from the charge controller, goes in. The inverter still is live. It's just really quiet right now. Just the tiniest breeze. You can't really even see the leaves moving right now. It's awesome. Yeah, I woke up this morning and I'm like, oh good, I got power. I'm gonna make coffee. I got no way to get the power to the bus. I was like, oh shit. This sucks. Dragonflies are out. That's good.
No immediate fires, that's a good sign, right? Alright, I'm going to turn on number 6. 6 on. Alright, green light. Okay, on the viewfinder the light is cycling because of the 60 hertz, but it's steady out here. Okay, check. 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 Okay, that's number 6. Good. So this is number 6 again. Yep, green light. Roadrunner is taking care of my bug problem over by the potatoes. Whatever's down there, he is just cleaning out. Another satisfied customer. And if he gets that many, he's going to come back. That's awesome. That's hilarious. Okay, green light on. Green, awesome. All right, about 9:30-ish on the 6th of July. Because I'm a freaking idiot. That's the easiest explanation. I don't have any more plugins. I literally used up almost all the plugins right there. Yeah, I don't know. That's like, and boxes. Yeah, I can't even hammer the boxes in because I don't have any more left. So I got a couple little boxes I can use for light switches, and I've got the light sockets. And this was the other funny thing. I bought those light sockets. Yeah, you need a box to put them in. So the next time I was in town, I went back and bought these guys. Yeah, just not very smart, I guess. Anyway. Or, oh, there's a bunny outside. Hey, bunny, what you doing? Oh, you found the bridge. Gotta check everything out, huh? That's just so funny. A single wire from the breaker box should be able to come up, come into the first light socket box, get split before the switch, so that what comes out of the split is still hot. Okay, so I'm going to just walk it through on this one. I think this will work. So this wire is coming from the hot side towards the breaker box. We'll just say power comes in here. Second wire is the one that goes to that light. The one you can maybe see painted black is the one that goes to the switch, and this one continues forward. So if this is right, and I think it is, basically I'm splitting it before the switch, upstream of the switch. Single 14 gauge should be able to handle 10 LED lights, no problem. So I'm going to do them all on one circuit. All right, I think I got a plan. I had to kind of work through it a couple times. Also got a mouthful of snacks. So what I got, I labeled the wires. One comes in from the power source. One goes out to the next room. One is labeled switch and one is labeled light. When you first look at it, you got 4 wires, and each of those has 3 wires in them. So you got, what, 12 wires. That's a little bit much to comprehend if you don't do this all the time. So what I'm thinking, step 1, you got to get rid of some of this sheathing on the wire. Just kind of slice that out of the way. Second step, what I realized, to make things a lot simpler myself, all of the grounds we can connect to each other, and the light socket doesn't have a ground on it. All right, so we could eliminate that right away. I'm going to pull my grounds out first, and I can just wire nut them together. I read somewhere, I think it was actually on the package, pre-twisting is not necessary, all right? But it's acceptable if you need it. So like for instance, here I have 4 wires. I'll try to get them all held with one hand and then get the wire nut started with the other hand. You know, good luck with that, right? All right, so I'm gonna twist that nice and tight. And then we're done with that, so let's just get it out of our way so we don't look at it anymore. I'm gonna push that up inside. I don't have to mess with it. Now, switch. Now, to quote my dad, this is the one painted black, so we know that it's the switch. So I'm going to take a second and just take my marker and paint that black. Because essentially, it's as if you're black, you're hot, goes to the switch and then comes right back again. So we got 2 black wires now, all right? The 4 commons, or the 3 commons, we can twist them together and then we're going to feed one to the light. My light has an in and an out on it. We can take advantage of that to send the power to the next light. I'm going to wire nut 2 of these together so that I send power to the next light, and then I'm going to pull a feed from that to the actual light that's in here. Just talking it through in my head since I haven't done this kind of thing yet. Keep it nice and tight. This is my switch. This will go between this one and this one. That should work. So these come together, and this joins to here. So power comes in, it goes to the next room, power comes in, it goes to the switch. If the power from the switch comes back, the light comes on. That should work. I think I got it. The proof will be in the pudding. These 2 get joined. Thinking about. It does get kind of crowded in there. I'm able to push most of this back up inside though. And then we'll make sure it works and then tidy it up. All right, ground first. Okay, since these have been sitting for a while, they're kind of in the bottom of the junk drawer. I want to make sure I have 2 actually good working lights. The easiest way I can think of to test them is I got one of these plug-in ends. So you just screw the lights off here, or light into one end and plug it in. Should be pretty obvious if it works. Yep, that one works. I would hate to go through a bunch of steps over there trying to figure out why my light doesn't work. And find out I got 2 that are dead. On the output side, there's the 4th wire that I labeled out. Okay, that's the one that comes across down to here, and that'll feed the next room. Okay, that's going to be hot when I turn the switch on. So I just reached down here and separated the leads, so we should be okay there. Switch is off, cord end on. So this is the one that we labeled input. So this is as if it was coming from the fuse circuit breaker. And then just to make it one step easier, safer, I'm going to put a power strip in here which has a circuit breaker built in. It's rated at like what, 1500 watts I think, 15 amps. Yeah, it's 15 amps, so 1500 watts. This should probably pop before the main circuit goes. Plus I've got an easy way to shut the circuit off pretty quickly if I need to. All right. So if it works, we should see the lights come on. Plugging in power strip. Nothing yet, and then we turn the light switch on. Cool. I'm surprised. Let's switch off. Alright, test complete. I'm going to shut this all down so I don't blow myself up. Okay. It's a relatively good feeling just knowing that I figured that out. The biggest part of this, I wasn't 100% sure, but it seemed like I was right. This way I can run one wire from the fuse or from the circuit breaker and split it off. I wanted to do this incrementally to test it as I was going, but I didn't want to have to plug it into the circuit breaker first. Storage, 1 out of 2. What's going on with that one? The fact that that one came on, this one should have came on. Yeah, I had 2 old bulbs that were sitting in one of my storage containers. I happened to see where it was a few days ago. Alright, that one doesn't work. Just put an LED in there, I guess. Not testing this one. It should work. There we go. That's pretty cool. Cool. We're smoking it. Wait, no smoke. Not smoking it. I just did a feed down this side of the house because I wasn't planning on wiring these lights on this side anyway. Time to batten down the hatches. I saw this dust cloud coming. Yeah. A few times now I make a cut and then the other piece goes falling. It's like, no, I need that one still. Trying to learn from that. Weird things happening. Two work here. That one works. Heck yeah. So far so good. Long circuit off. That's awesome. The element of complication, I guess, was getting one string. Basically, I've got one feed coming from that end that is splitting off and switches sub-circuits. So I wasn't entirely sure that would work. Alright, so it's about 7:45 already. I swear it took me twice as long to get the last 10 miles as normal. So, this is just kind of a fun shot. So what happened, the nice young lady at Home Depot, I made some comment about, yeah, these things are just terrible on the bags, and she's like, oh yeah, you're right. So she's like, okay, hang on. So she runs outside, grabs another shopping cart, and as she scanned these, she just threw them loose into the shopping cart. So I'm like, okay, so I get out here and I throw them all loose into the truck. So let's just do this. I think a full box of any one was way more than I needed. So there's a mixture here. It's not all one size, and I needed a lot of the doubles and a few of the ones for the ceiling, for ceiling lights, and just a few single plugins, or actually light switches, I guess. Yeah, I got out of there for less than $300. I felt like I was doing pretty good. I think for now I'm just gonna leave them in the hamper. I got a few dirty clothes on the floor, but that's all right. I'm at the tail end of the project, and quite honestly, I'm burned out on all of this. I mean, this should be when I'm excited. It's almost done. I think in a way, I'm looking forward to getting a job. Well, that'll take care of two of the problems. I know I probably won't make shit for money, but at least I will be. It's kind of like I'll be under somebody else's supervision, so I don't have to make all these decisions myself. I'll just look at the manager. He's like, "Well, where do you want me to put this?" You know, if you want me to think for myself, I can do that at home. But these are like $1 a piece. It's not. This is the thing. These are not the problem. It's the wire, and even that's really not that bad. Anyway, I got another 100 feet of the white wire, the Romex 14 gauge, of which I don't need very much. Realistically, if I just unscrew the bulb or don't put a bulb in, if I don't need it, but I have the socket, because it's like, yeah, the box was $1 and those light sockets are about $1.50, something like that. It's ridiculously cheap for those parts. They really hit you on the fancy stuff, but if you can just cheap out, everything gonna be okay. That always looks so cool. Sunset is affecting those hills. Yeah, I really thought I was just gonna get home and work for 3 or 4 hours tonight. Sun's just going down. Looks like no rain tonight. That's good. Road is just shit. I mean, it's not completely washed out, but it's just messed up. I don't know. Somebody tipped over, huh? There you go. Huh. That's a trip. I swear I had 2 bulbs in my hand, but maybe I didn't. Maybe I'm just like whacked here. All right, let's put this guy in. First, we'll just turn this on and make sure it doesn't fall out right away. Okay, I got 12.1 volts right now. And we are wired, when the 2 yellow wires are plugged into the inverter, that means the inverter is working. If you bring the yellow wires to this side, then the generator is supplying power. That's the way that's set up right now. Eventually, I'll probably do a switch over panel. But I'm hoping to invent something more awesome. So all the light switches are off. So number 9, I'm going to have to number these, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Turn that on. Nothing yet, and I'm going to turn number 1 on. That's the office. I've got the tester still plugged into number 1, so I can look over and see that I have actually power on. Okay. We know that one worked, but I added a new lights. Originally that was only 2 lights on that side. Now I added the middle one, so that should work. Ta-da! 3 work. This should be the middle 3. 3 for 3. All right. And then this one is these 3. Heck yeah. Yeah, it'll probably show up on camera. These are much whiter. There's a yellow. These 3 match each other. That's kind of what happened. And then these 3 are all the new ones. Those are freaking nice. All right. So I got 2 in here. 2, good. This one over the desk. Good. And then the last one, the switch inside the front door. Let me shut the bus breakers off. 6 and 8 is the bus. So if we turn the bus off, I don't think anything's on number 1, but let's just leave that on. So the only one is number 9. All the lights are still on. Now this is 3, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 lights on. Okay. This is going to be kind of cool. 15 lights should be close to 15 amps, 1500 watts if they were 100-watt bulbs, right? Yeah, 170, 180. That's like the equivalent of 2 or 3 light bulbs. You know, if you had 3 of the 60 watts, that would be 180. That's freaking awesome. This is one of those funny things where you get used to looking out for clouds so that you know if you're going to get rained on. And then I'm like, oh yeah, right, I'm working inside. It really doesn't matter. Sweet. Like a grasshopper. I'm like, what am I looking at in there? I was like, okay, I don't need to pull that wire just yet. I'll wait. Okay, so it's going to be switch on this side, plug on this side. Plug in first. There we go. All right, the long and the short of it, I'm not going to show you, but one wire comes in, wires to the plug-in like normal. The output side of the cord of the plug-in end, because you got 2 sets of screws, right? So you use 1 set for input, 1 set coming out. The white goes right back up to the ceiling to the next set of plug-ins. The grounds are joined. The black comes out of the plug-in into the switch, and then the other black that goes up is attached to the output of the switch. So that way, you've got continuous common and ground going up, and your hot is switched. So from that, I'm going to have 2 sets of plug-ins on the ceiling that are off of the same circuit that I can use for running extra lights or maybe electric heaters or something else. And then when I'm done for the night, when I'm walking out, I just shut off the light switch that's here and shut this switch off. And then anything that's up there gets shut off and I don't have to go around and unplug everything. 5 o'clock, quitting time. Oh man, it's getting hot. Now, the worst thing is it's hotter in the bus, so it's like, does it make sense to quit or keep working, or maybe I'll just take a chill out here? Yeah, okay, so status report, right? It's getting hard to concentrate on what I'm doing, and that's not a good time to be doing wiring, so I will stop. Sure is nice having lights in here, though. So I was able to close the door, right? That blocks a lot of the sun, and I tested. The inside of the door is much cooler than the outside, the same as the front. The insulation is definitely working. So, you know, I missed the wind blowing through, but the sun is just beating down on me here on this side. So it's definitely cooler on that end of the house right now, just because you're farther from the sun. So that's something to keep in mind. Anyway, with that said, I have officially, as far as I can see, do I have any scraps left? I've got that one scrap there of yellow, which is maybe 2 feet long. That is it from 250 feet. Yeah, right? But from that, I have every circuit pulled that I need. That is on the 12 gauge. So that includes overhead plugins on both sides. A lot of this is overkill. And I'm just, I'm just cooked. So, good time to take a break or stop or something. It is cooler on this end though, I can feel it. Anyway, I'm just kind of getting dopey. There's a word from the 70s. What's the other one? Dopey and, no, maybe that was it. Peachy, that's another one. Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna hit it again in the morning. Yeah, my brain is just fried. It's gonna be hotter in the bus. I may just come back here and take a break. I'm kind of at that confused state where you know you're too hot and your brain is just shutting down. Yep, that's a sign. It's coming this way. I am ready to test the last circuit with qualifications. Because I ran out of wire. I ran out of wire, I ran out of plug-ins, and I ran out of plug-in covers. So it all worked out for the end, I guess. So I've got covers except for this last one, and then the end two boxes. So I've got, oh, by the way, this worked fantastically still. Plenty of boxes though. So I've got two boxes left that never got done. So one back there and this one, which not mission critical, right? Flip the light on. Still got power, that's good. Yay, green lights. Good. Yeah, a few boxes left over, but that's like, yeah, we'll totally use those in between the bus and the shop. Alright. Yeah. Just leave the middle one on when I'm doing something. Light to see what I'm doing, like for cleaning up. If I need more, I still got the sides. Because those are 100 watt equivalents. So if I just need enough to see around, I can see getting some smaller ones now.